If your team isn't performing the way you'd hope, it's easy to think they just don't care. I need to push them harder. But here's the truth: underperformance isn't just about them, it's a mirror. It's showing you how your leadership is wired. And if you don't rewire that pattern, you'll just keep repeating it with every single new hire. The good news is this isn't a personality issue or a motivation problem at all. It's the neuroscience of leadership. And when you understand how the brain creates patterns of ownership, you can turn an underperforming team into an A player team without burnout or blame. So today, I want to show you exactly how to do that. All right, here we go. Step number one: create neural clarity, not just goals. When people underperform, the problem usually starts with fuzzy expectation. Your brain might have a clear vision of what great looks like, but if your team can't see that same picture, so they can't hit the mark. The brain needs clarity the way a GPS needs coordinates. Without it, it defaults to confusion, and confusion breeds hesitation. So before you fix performance, ask yourself, have I painted a clear picture of what success actually looks like? Define it three ways. What does great look like? How do we measure great? And why does this matter? Those three things. Because when people understand the why, their brain attaches motivation to meaning. And that's what turns compliance into ownership. All right, step number two: replace micromanaging with measurement. Micromanaging isn't about control, it's about uncertainty. When you don't have visibility, your brain fills in the gap with worry. But there's a better way to create certainty. It's called measurement. Give your team the tools to track their own progress. A weekly scoreboard, a simple wins and lessons check in, anything that puts their performance in their hands, not just yours. Here's why this works. When people measure their own progress, their brain releases dopamine every time they move closer to the goal. That reward loop builds confidence, and confidence drives better performance without you having to hover. Isn't that awesome? Okay, step number three: reinforce the right circuits. You can't set expectations once and then walk away. The brain doesn't change through information, it changes through repetition. If someone's underperforming, they're running an old circuit, an outdated habit or belief. And the only way to replace it is through consistent reinforcement. That means weekly feedback, not just quarterly reviews. That means catching progress early and celebrating it out loud, because celebration literally rewires the brain. It releases dopamine, which marks that behavior as worth repeating. So if you want more team ownership, start reinforcing ownership behavior every time you see it. All right, step four: shift from answering to activating. Every time your team brings a problem to you, you give them the answer. You train their brain to come back for more answers. You're building dependency, not ownership. But when you pause and ask, what do you think? Or what would you recommend? You're activating their prefrontal cortex, that part of the brain that makes decisions. Over time, that question rewires them to think like owners. The goal here isn't to be the hero. The goal is to create heroes. All right, step five: model the state you want mirrored. Your leadership is the thermostat for the team's nervous system. If you show up anxious, rushed, or reactive, your team's brains will mirror that state. So if you show up calm, clear, and focused, they'll start matching that too. This is called co-regulation, and it's one of the most powerful tools in the neuroscience-based leadership toolkit. So if your team feels chaotic, the first place to bring order is in your own state. Your brain sets the tone before your words ever do. Okay, my final thought here: underperformance isn't a talent issue, it's a wiring issue. When you create clarity, reinforce progress, and build ownership, you retrain your team's brains to think like owners and leaders. Don't fix people, you rewire patterns. And when you do that, the business scales through people, not through pressure. So if you want the exact neuroscience backed system to find, train, and keep A players, download your free copy of the A Player Playbook. It's the roadmap that I give my 67-day-year CEO clients to build teams that run the business for them so you can finally lead from peace and not pressure. See you next week.